just knowing the working details of the creator, of the creation, does not negate the creator. Let me give you a practical analogy in this if I can. Let's say that I'm a little kid and I have my parents have allowed me to use the TV remote, hot dog, so I can switch between all the cartoons I want. And so for me, at the age of 5, this thing is a magic wand. You know, I stand here, I press a button, and the picture changes over there. Wow, magic. Who could create such a device? So as time goes on, I get a little older and into the internet, and I Google, how does a TV remote work? And I'm not lucky enough to know Ron Kowalski, so I have to Google it for myself. So I look this up, and I find out that, in fact, it's really not magic, but in fact, there are these momentary contacts that are etched onto a circuit board, and then the circuit goes to a chip that translates these particular connections on these momentary contacts into digital pulses. And then the digital pulse goes to another part on the board that will amplify the signal. And then that goes to a light-emitting diode. And then an infrared signal comes off of that pulsing. And then I look over and the TV has a receiver on it. This is the same little area, kind of looks like the end of the remote. So my parents aren't too happy with me, but I go over and take the TV apart too. See, I am Ron Kowalski at a young age. And so I look and I see that, in fact, in the TV is just the complementary parts, that there's another light-emitting diode, it receives, it gets retranslated back into electrical commands, and so I have an understanding, I now have a practical knowledge of how this thing works. I now know, as I go on, I study in detail, I know everything about how this works. Does that negate the creator of the device? If anything, it strengthens the argument for one. Who, without intention, how did this thing come into being? Somebody saw purpose and designed this thing. It wasn't a random accident. Well, let me tell you that a remote is a pretty ingenious thing, but it is absolutely nothing compared to the DNA in your cells, how they replicate. It's nothing compared to the way chemicals can interact in a very specific way in even the most simple life form. It's nothing compared to that. So as science has electron microscopes and accelerators and all of this stuff, all we've been able to do is peek inside the remote. That's all we've really done. We haven't negated a creator. All we found out is that he's just a whole lot smarter than we even thought he was. He's a whole lot larger than we even thought he was. No. In fact, natural explanations don't replace the spiritual. Depending how you look at them, and it's your choice, because as we looked at, belief is a choice, it actually strengthens. Is it true then, the first claim, that really religion is just unreasonable? Any faith system then, by definition, is unreasonable. It depends how you define faith. And I'd like to throw out one for you to kind of try on for size, is this, is what is faith? What is really, I'm not talking about faith in general, but good faith. Faith that actually can change or bring life. That kind of faith. Well, that kind of faith is not the absence of reason. It is not the absence of reason. It is all that the human reason can offer, and then the courage to take the next step. Faith is all that human reason can offer, and then the courage to take the next step. Is your faith reasonable?